So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So let's continue our journey, our series of planets through different houses in Navamsa Chart in Vedic Astrology. And in this particular video, let's try to understand Venus placement in the 5th house of your D9 chart. And what are going to be the positive and negative results that are particularly associated with this Venus placements. Let's try to understand in this particular video. Before actually deeply diving into what Venus is going to do in the 5th house, first of all, let's try to understand what is exactly the 5th house of your D9 chart. Now, there is no doubt 5th house both in D1 and D9, they are actually going to play a very important role, very pivotal role in your life, specifically when it comes to the prosperity angle, when it comes to children perspective. Even 5th house of D9 is the representation of the skill set actually. The kind of skills which are present inside you, that is seen through the planet which is particularly posited in the 5th house. 5th house also represents any sort of major gains that are happening after marriage. 5th house is also the representation of the health aspect actually. Because 4th house of the D9 is the representation of the health of the native or any major health complications. And if you count 4th to the 5th, so that is going 2 places away. It shows any addition of the health factor is coming in your life or not. Apart from this, 5th house is also the house that represents the cumulative spirituality between you and your partner and how the childbirth is going to impact you and both of your personal lives. Now, when the planet like Venus actually comes into the 5th house, this is quite a comfortable placement for Venus in the 5th house. And the very first point, Venus in the 5th house is going to bless you with lot of skills actually. And these are the skills related to hands, skills related to understanding the pain of other people. So, you are going to become very empathetic. Venus is also the planet which represents the healing industry. HEALING, healing industry and healing sector. So this Venus placement actually have the capacity to give you advanced knowledge with regards to the healing industries also. Now I'm working as a Vedic astrologer full time, so Vedic astrology also comes under the healing industry. There are some other people that are working as maybe holistic healers, as Vedic astrology, as a numerology, or any sort of people that are dealing with the occult sciences that are actually coming under the domain of this Venus. Venus also have the capacity, if particularly this is very well posited. Now when I use the word very well posited Venus, I'm asking you to check its dignity both in the D1 and particularly in the D9 chart. Because if the dignity of the Venus in both D1 and D9 chart is absolutely perfect, like Venus is posited in its own zodiac sign in both of these charts and there is no any affliction coming to this Venus, then this is a very good combination to have a very good life partner coming directly into your life, because this Venus have the capacity of flexibility and adaptability. These people have the capacity to adjust in any kind of a environment. It doesn't matter, for example, you belong to a very rich background and your wife is coming from somewhat poor background, and then your wife is adding up to your life. So wife have the capacity to actually adjust accordingly. And similarly, the influence of Venus is getting more increased after receiving the life partner into your life. Now here I'm not talking about casual relationships like one-on-one relation or maybe boyfriend and girlfriend. As soon as the event of marriage will take place, the Pran is coming in Venus. Pran mean like this planet is becoming alive actually. So the significance or the Karak Tattva of Venus, wherever it is posited, is actually getting enhanced. So if it is posited in the 5th house, you can just count from the 7th house of D9 chart. 5th house is going 11 places away. Now this is the representation of the cumulative gains. Now cumulative gains of husband and wife is not necessary like both are earning and they both are like earning a good amount of money, so that represents cumulative gains. It's not necessary. It may be wife is earning money, or maybe for example husband is earning money. As soon as wife is entering, your prosperity is going to increase actually. and this is known as the karma connectivity. Whenever we do the horoscope matchmaking also, like when we go to any astrologer, and what we do the guna milan, then we go to compatibility factors, emotional, love, sexual compatibility, childbirth analysis, after marriage analysis, spiritual compatibility. The next factor we move towards the 5th house actually of D9, because this house or the planets that are posited in the 5th house, it represents the parallel approach towards your relation, like whether husband wife have the capacity to parallelly take their relationship in the much positive way or not, whether they have the capacity to adjust according to the difficulties of life or not, whether one person is going to wear all the responsibilities of the life or who is actually going to wear. So here the combined analysis of both you and your partner's 5th house is becoming very important. Now, for example, if one is having benefic planets like Venus and other is having some malefic planets like Saturn, then this is going to be a very good compatibility. I will say excellent, marvelous. But on the other hand, if the one person is having benefic and then the second person is also going to have benefic, then this is going to become bit friction created kind of a bond, because benefics, they don't tend to take much responsibilities. Benefic planets mentality is like that, like we feel very privileged to be getting married to this person. So they are, whatever they are doing out of a privilege actually, and they are thinking, okay, my partner is going to do more thing towards me. So the contribution is not going to become that 50-50. It's going to be 80-20 approach. Like my partner need to do 80%, I need to do 20%. And that is where most of the marriages will fail, even with this Venus placement in the 5th house. Venus is also the planet specifically which represents the core belief systems of a person. Although Jupiter is the controller of the belief systems of the native, but Venus is the representation of your belief systems around the relationships. Now, for example, in the initial life, you have gone through maybe multiple relationships with some different person, 1, 2, 3, or maybe any one serious relation I'm talking about. Now, for example, you are having a major setback coming from that particular area of your life. So that is going to becoming some sort of a ink spot in your heart. Now, that particular relation have the capacity to reshape your belief systems into your marriage and the married life aspect. And sometimes the past life failures in your relationship have the capacity to act as a saving factor in your current marriage and married life aspect. So don't take it in the negative direction, like I'm having Venus in the 5th and my previous relationships, they have not sustained, broken relationships because of several countable number of reasons actually. And now I'm actually getting married, so might be these circumstances going to hamper. No, Venus have the capacity to gain experience and then reshape its own belief system based over the past life experiences. And that is where, even if you look into the D-9 chart also, 7th house is the house of marriage. This is basically controlled by Venus with the sign of Libra. And Venus is that kind of a planet that is not only actually governing the relationship or the marriage aspect, that also governs the belief system which is revolving around that area. Now, you need to have a very positive mindset first of all. If you are having Venus in the 5th house, no matter what your past life is going to be, if you start becoming judgmental with this Venus, then I will tell you Venus is going to act in the negative way. There is second more circumstances when Venus is acting more negatively, and that is where if it is debilitated. Now, when Venus is going in the sign of Virgo, this is the critical placement. Although this is a very good placement for you to become successful in the career or the financial world, but when it comes to relationships, Venus in Virgo is going to become very problematic. Or if Venus is becoming hemmed with more malefics, like for example, Venus is with Mars Ketu in the 5th house. Now see, the Venus is getting hemmed or jammed with malefics. Although I made separate video of planetary conjunctions with Rahu and Ketu in the D9 chart, you can watch it in the playlist section in the Navamsha chart. But if Venus is hemmed with more malefics, then what is going to happen? Venus tend to lose its positive qualities in the 5th house. You remember previously I told you 80-20 ratio, like okay, I'm doing 80% and my partner is doing 20%, or sometime you are giving 80 or 20. Venus afflicted or hemmed or jammed Venus, you are sitting on the giving end actually. Then you keep on giving love, care, affection, support towards other, and it become very difficult for you to receive these things back into your life. Now many will ask me like why this is happening actually. Yes, I completely agreed with your predictions, and we are sitting on the giving and we keep on giving, and that is where karma is going to play a very important role. I'm not saying actually only this janam karma or this birth karmas, they are going to deeply impact you and your marriage life aspect. It may be some pending life karmas from the 5th house of your D1 chart, they are getting impacted in the D9 chart, or your 5th house lord from the D1 chart is in a difficult condition in the D9 chart. So in this way you can read this Venus placement. Although I try to make it more simpler in every video, but still I request you to try to analyze both the charts together in order to understand the results in the much positive way. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you are having now any queries, any consultations with regards to your Venus placement, any other planetary placement, marriage, career, spiritual, business consultation, do let me know. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And till then, please subscribe my channel below. Make sure to subscribe it actually. You can send me super thanks also if you find this video fascinating. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah.